It's 1,000 points of the Empire of Man versus 1,000 points of Vampire Counts in the game of Warhammer, the Old World. This is TOE in 20 minutes. Some halfling scouts from the Moot pop up out of their hiding places in the ground, far ahead of the rest of the army.
Alright, are you ready to kick some skeletal ass, lads?
We're halflings, John. How are we supposed to kick high enough to reach someone's ass?
Think outside the box, lad. You knock 'em on their ass, then you kick 'em in the ass while they're down.
3 Demigryph riders march out onto the field, while beside them an engineer helps set up a Hellblaster volley gun. Voldemort, a level 4 wizard on a Pegasus, rides into battle beside a unit of state troops led by a captain bearing the battle standard.
I'm the BSB motherfucker.
Now meet an abnormally muscular necromancer named Arnie.
Come with me if you want to live.
Well, sort of.
20 skeletons climb up out of their graves in 2 single-file lines because Linehammer! Arnie the necromancer surrounds himself with more skeletons and some graveguard, and this is joined by a vampire wielding the battle standard, the Drakenhof banner, and that's it. That's the army. Arnie has injected himself with a ton of points. He's a level 4 wizard with the Flayed Hauberk, a spell familiar, and the Hand of Dust.
Fear not the undead, my troops. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Too bad we don't bleed.
Vampire Counts, turn 1. Arnie tries to cast Spirit Leech on the Mutians, but is dispelled by Voldemort.
You son of a bitch!
So he tries casting Curse of Years on them instead, but is again dispelled by Voldemort. The movement phase.
Oh!
He strides forward with his spear-wielding skeletons and Graveguard, while the Linehammer heads towards the other halflings led by John. Arnie casts Spiritual Vortex. Wait, no he doesn't. The Empire of Man, turn 1. Voldemort casts Plague of Rust. Wait, no he doesn't. So Voldemort casts Earthen Ramparts. Wow. We are 5 spells in and still on a 100% dispel rate. When everyone is a level 4 wizard, no one is. The movement phase. The Mutians shuffle back an inch. Voldemort flies over to the side. The state troops do this. The Demigryphs approach very slowly. The shooting phase. The Mutians fire at the skeletons and smash apart 2 of them while one of the arrows sticks into a shield. John and his halflings, however, can't shoot for shit.
Well, there's always next turn, lad.
I'm pretty sure we'll be dead by next turn, John.
Volley gun fires 18 shots into the graveyard and holy shit, literally half of those rolls are a 2. It's a dice game.
It was his fault, boss.
2 graveguard get their heads smashed to bits by the bullets, but they grow back. The Empire captain fires at the skeletons, but the bullet just gets lodged into a hip bone, doing nothing. The engineer fires at the vampire, but a graveguard jumps in front of him and takes it through the face. Voldemort casts Fireball on the graveguard with such perfection that Arnie cannot dispel it. Fireball melts 3 graveguards to what looks like tar, but from the muck, one rises again. Vampire Counts, turn 2. Arnie, who is actually very good at magic, despite not being able to cast a single spell yet, tries to cast Deathly Cabal, and gets dispelled. Since he's having such bad luck with casting spells, how about a leadership test to get some skellies back? But wait! Being within range of the BSB, he re-rolls the test and pieces together the fallen skellies. Finally, Arnie manages to cast his first spell this game, Curse of Years. What the actual hell have they done to this spell? -1 weapon skill? What happened to aging them so quickly that they turn to dust and die? See, that's what they did back in my day. Wow, I'm 34 and I'm already saying that. What, they just age temporarily and go, oh my back, oh, I can't hold a weapon that well anymore, and then when the spell ends, they just get their youth back again.
Lame, 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 lame!
Arnie's luck turns around as he casts Spirit Leech, filling John and his crew with dread.
Think I just shite myself, lads.
Yeah, I just pooped my pants.
Why do I suddenly feel scared?
This is weird, man.
It's a spell, you idiots.
Arnie weighing over 250 pounds with a set of abs that are seemingly sculpted by angels, defies all stigma surrounding necromancers and close combat, and charges the Mutian halflings. They stand and shoot but wound nothing. The line of skellies charges a whopping 2 inches forward, and the vampire leads his grave guard onward. The combat phase. Unbeknownst to the Empire, Arnie holds the severed hand of the great necromancer, Nagash, and uses it to drain the life from the halflings, and they all plop to the ground like bean bags.
You are terminated.
But him and his unit don't stop there. They overrun, and then stop there. 1 inch away from the state troops. The Empire of Man, turn 2. Voldemort casts Plague of Rust on the Graveguard, making all their armor about as reliable as Games Workshop are, with actually answering questions in the FAQ. Voldemort attempts to cast Urban Ramparts, but is dispelled by Arnie.
I'm back.
John and his band of halflings shuffle sideways, trying to keep away from the undead. Voldemort lets out a massive blast of wind from his arsenal, and 3 skeletons are shattered to pieces, their bones carried off in the wind as the entire unit is pushed back. The captain fires with his dragon boat into the Graveguard and just hits, only needing a 2 to wound, but being a game of Warhammer, he rolls a 1. The engineer fires a bullet into the vampire, but it seems it wasn't a silver one. The Hellblaster volley gun misfires on 1 of its artillery dice, meaning it only gets -1 to hit. It wipes out 4 of the Graveguard, but 1 regenerates. Finally, Voldemort tries to cast Fireball, but gets dispelled by Arnie. Vampire Counts, turn 3. Arnie attempts to resurrect his fallen comrades, but can't seem to do it.
Hey everyone, look, it's a necromancer that can't do necromancy.
Burn.
I promise you, girly man, I will kill you last.
Arnie casts Deathly Cabal on his unit, successfully. Then he casts Curse of Years on the captain and his troops with a perfect invocation. The state troops swiftly start to age and feel their bones aching.
I got this twinge in my neck, and when I turn my head like this, look, ow, see?
Arnie commands his skeletons to charge the state troops, barely making it, mind you. He needed a 2 on the charge roll. The Linehammer skeletons declare a charge on the halflings, but they flee.
Alright lads, show me how fast you can run, and scream while you do it.
Why is John in charge again?
The line of skeletons fails its charge. The Graveguard and the BSB perform a drilled maneuver and then move forward. The combat phase. Arnie uses the Hand of Nagash, which causes the state troops' bodies to wither and rot in seconds. And 8 of them crumble to a pile of empty husks. The skeletons manage to follow up and stab a single troop through the heart, and in return the captain smashes through a single skeleton. Being overwhelmed by that magic hand, the troops give ground and Arnie follows up. The Empire of Man, turn 3. Voldemort casts Plague of Rust on the Graveguard, once again making their armor go brittle. The Demigryphs charge the Graveguard. The halflings rally.
Alright lads, that's enough running for one day.
The volley gun pivots to face the line of skellies, and Voldemort abandons the state troops. The engineer fires at the line of skeletons, but his bullet sticks into a shield. The volley gun unleashes a ton of shots into the skeletons, grinding 5 of them into dust. The halflings shoot at the same skellies, and John manages to shatter a skeleton's skull.
That's why I'm in charge, lads.
The Demigryph riders go to town on the Graveguard, but because of their Plague of Rust, their armor is now more broken than this game is. They slay 3 Graveguard, and the beasts themselves tear apart 3 more. The BSB vampire lashes out but only hits 1 out of 3 times, but it seems most of his strength is spent holding up that big banner. The remaining Graveguard in the fighting rank mimic the vampire and are equally disappointing, so 3 more of them drop like sacks of shit due to combat res, and the rest of them give ground as the Demigryphs follow up. The captain and his state troops, being pushed back by the skeletons, tremble as Arnie waves the Hand of Nagash in the air, but to their relief, it does nothing but wave at them. So Arnie rages and uses brute strength to kill a single state troop. The captain carrying the battle standard fights back with an equal amount of rage and decapitates 1 skeleton. The skeletons attack back and kill 1 more state troop. The state troops, being state troops, cause 0 wounds and lose combat again. They fall back in good order, ending up on the edge of the battlefield. Ani pursues them and charges into them once again. Vampire counts, turn 4. The movement phase. The line of skellies pivots to face the demigryphs, and just like that, we're back in the combat phase. Nagash's hand was a one-hit wonder. It is now only useful for cheap party tricks. Ani takes 2 swings but gets no dings. The skeletons strike with their spears, but a ward save rescues the troops, and the troops and the captain get a total of 0 wounds on the skeletons. Both have musicians, so it's a stalemate and they remain right where they are. Basically, the combat now looks like this. The demigryphs and their riders send 4 Graveguard back to the graveyard, while the unit champion wounds a demigryph with his cleaving blow, denying the demigryph its 2-up armor save. The Graveguard are again pushed back by the overwhelming force of the demigryphs, but do not crumble due to their indomitability. Voldemort casts Earthen Ramparts on the demigryphs and again manages to make the Graveguard's armor rust to shit.
I've got an idea, lads. Let's charge the skeletons.
This is ridiculous.
Voldemort charges into the flank of the Graveguard. The demigryphs kill off the entire unit except for the champion and the vampire. The champion, who has proven to be the real MVP this combat, wounds Voldemort and then crumbles to ash because of combat res. John and his halflings, as brave as they are, fail to wound any skeletons and once again drop their nuts and flee.
That'll do, lads. That'll do.
The mindless, emotionless skeletons resist the temptation. Ani once again waves the hand of Nagash uselessly in the air. Pissed off that it's doing nothing, he says,
Remember when I promised to kill you last?
Yes, I do. You promised.
I lied.
Ani single-handedly slays 2 troops. The troops destroy a single skeleton and the skellies kill off 4 troops. Losing combat, the troops fail their break test and flee off the edge of the battlefield.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Ani restrains and reforms to see that all his Graveguard are gone. Vampire counts, turn 5. Ani manages to resurrect 3 skeletons, and just to be a prick, he casts Curse of Years on the volley gun. Ani and his band of abnormally strong skeletons charge into the volley gun while the line of skellies charges the demigryphs in an attempt to rescue the vampire. The vampire declares a challenge on Voldemort, who whips out, and so the demigryph champion accepts. He slays the battle standard bearing vampire because of that insane armor save, while the other demigryph crushes 2 skeletons. Being skeletons, they do 0 wounds in return. Losing combat, they crumble by 3. Ani's skeletons kill off 2 of the volley gun crew, and they, being reasonable human beings, run away, and they are run down and trampled to death, leaving the engineer behind, as he wasn't actually part of that unit.
Don't you know who I am?
The Empire of Man, turn 5. John and his halflings are wise enough to keep fleeing. Voldemort casts Plague of Rust on Ani's skeletons and Earthen Ramparts on the demigryphs. The engineer, upset that the skeletons completely ignored him, kamikazes into the rear of the skeletons.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Voldemort flies over to face Ani. The demigryphs were supposed to pivot after winning combat last round, so let's do that now, because that's what a good opponent would allow. They charge the skeletons. Combat phase. The engineer smashes through 1 skeleton in his anger, but one of them stabs the engineer through the leg, and losing combat res, he hops away. The demigryphs annihilate all of the skeletons, and that is where the game ends.
I'll be back.